B bomb site and try and take it clean. Frozen still alive towards the back boxes, and now they swarm into the site. Somebody in Zeta, though, able to find a frag apiece, leaving KARRİGAN all on his own. Nothing he can do. A little bit of a team kill coming in as well. But the two players trying to rotate in as the bomb goes down in a 4 versus 2. And how was that so clean for TYLOOYU?
That is a question that mousesports and KARRİGAN will be asking themselves. But this round isn't over just yet. Rop's still alive alongside WOXİC. Plenty of ability between the two of them. Rops has already chipped in, but his compadre has gone down in amongst the ruckus, and he's going to be a laboured tapping duel. Slow and steady wins the race as far as TYLOOYU are concerned. They're still not entirely sure what mousesports have in store, but now they know. WOXÍC delivering the deagle first class into the head of Summer. I know you have a few points to raise about him. We'll get back to that in a moment as Freeman has to just try and traipse over middle. The bomb is still dropped at T-step. Someone's going to have to go back and pick that up, and it will be Freeman now. So it looks like they've completely banked all in. They've put their chips on the table, Wolfie, and they say B is the site to go.
Frozen and KARRİGAN with a huge job to do that. 1D has just forced TYLOOYU in towards this B bomb site, and now the play comes through. Frozen with the spam, able to get the first, coming out with the second deagle headshot from the coffins as well. And TYLOOYU, they just don't look like they know where to go now. Freeman and Attacker bailing out of the play with 10 seconds left on the clock. The round surely is over, as Freeman even going to go down to Rops at the very death of things. And Attacker, nothing he can do with the AK-47. All 5 players on the scene. More information to work with as Summer is desperate to get something going, but teammates falling around him. Somebody taken out by KARRİGAN in the early engagement, and immediately a 5-on-4 for the T side to deal with. They are looking to group up towards this A bomb site, as Attacker does manage to take down Chris J, and WOXÍC, with just a deagle to his name, is going to back off, switch out to the MAC-10 to try and take things a little bit up close and personal.
The two teams clashing heads, but deciding to back out of there are TYLOOYU. Frozen by himself on B, taking a more forward position with his UMP. He's just hopping for information for the time being, allowing the rest of his team to go towards A. KARRÍGAN, the linchpin of the rotation, thinking twice about this, because now Frozen's seen them. Smoke goes out, he's going to be chased down, goes in for the repeat with the UMP, but comes out completely empty-handed. Did significant damage to Summer, but that's not enough to stop them from getting onto the bomb and getting this planted down, and KARRÍGAN needs to wait for the rest of his team to arrive. He actually goes out there prematurely, does drop Zeta in the process, goes back in for seconds, and for thirds, KARRÍGAN leading by example with the AK-47, and only Summer remains with a measly 20 HP. And it won't be happening for him. It was looking like it's this time with the M4 as opposed to the UMP. Chris J being pressured, being pivoted on, but he comes out swinging with the MAC-10. Plenty of damage has been done. WOXÍC missing all the bullets, and Summer and somebody both chipping in with 2, but this is where the superior firepower will rise to the top alongside mousesports for a 3-1 lead.
A couple of chips of damage. The Molotovs buy them a little bit of time to rotate back towards the bomb site. And now TYLOOYU just looking to bail out of things, but KARRÍGAN swings and catches somebody in the middle of no man's land. That's an easy frag to find, and once again, mousesports with the man advantage, and TYLOOYU looking a little bit lost. They're playing very passively, and they're just taking that top banana control, but they're getting picked apart. WOXÍC has found another one with Rops, so advanced in the apartments here. Freeman doesn't expect it. He's taken out, and Zeta and Attacker, they've got to try and take this B bomb site all alone in the 5-on-2. They're slowly creeping their way in, but are they going to expect this boosted angle from KARRÍGAN as the push starts to come? They're slowly jiggle peeking every possible angle. Attacker is going to find the first, but the trades are immediate. Frozen, then WOXÍC to get into this A bomb site. 3 players in the apartments, and it's going to be Chris J to draw first blood onto somebody straight through the smoke. And is the plan going to fall apart with a man lost as WOXÍC finds the second on the AWP, and this half-buy is falling apart at the seams. WOXÍC looking for more, does take the dink, and Attacker will finally find the frag, but that's all she wrote. Just the one frag from
whatsoever. And I love this play from KARRÍGAN. He decides, let's just go straight up and meet the T's where they live and try and evict them. He does get a kill, more information gathered, but WOXÍC's also chipped in with a frag. So just keeping TYLOOYU on their tiptoes, keeping the man advantage in favor of mousesports.
That second frag from WOXÍC was absolutely crucial. Just gives mousesports that room to breathe and the room to play the CS they want to play. Because you're right, that aggression, not exactly normal to say the least, but KARRÍGAN happy to get aggressive, knowing that the AWP is going to be backing him up. But now the pressure starts to pivot, and it's going to head back towards the B-bomb site. Frozen with the smoke and the timing will be able to take down the first, but Summer straight through it will find the refrag, and that's an open B-bomb site as well. Fast rotation starting to come through, but they're not going to catch the bomb. It will be able to make its way across onto the site with WOXÍC. A huge job to do. Oh, he almost spots out Freeman, but bomb will go down, and a 3v2 retake, in fact, for mousesports to try and contend with.
The post plant is looking very doable on Mouse Sports. They still have a HE, a couple smokes and a couple flashes. TYLOOYU segregated. Opposite sides of the site. Smoke's being tossed down into ruins. Chris J now taking the inroads, trying to regain what was once theirs. Trying to cultivate the clutch, but Summer says no. Smoked off on the coffins, but he's allowed the opportunity to start to make a move around the side. Meanwhile, his teammate's gone down, and Mouse Sports will be successful with the retake after all. It's a valiant attempt for TYLOOYU, but they just come up short in the end.
Perhaps compensate, but you've got to wonder, what's the strategy coming into this round? Where do you look to go? Because Mouse Sports at the moment, they are pulling your strings like a puppet master, and WOXİC, again, fancies the peak, and that is one hell of a shot to open things up. Zeta goes down, and the new boy has already lost for TYLOOYU.
He has been lost at sea, and Freeman is capsizing time and time again. Still yet to get a single kill on the board as we move into round 8. Is that sad statistic going to continue, or can he change his fortunes round? Attacker, next player to fall. It's all been Mouse Sports. Remember, TYLOOYU won the pistol. Since then, one-way traffic, and Mouse Sports barreling down the freeway, out of control. Freeman, 007.
Start to pick apart this Mouse Sports defense that is just looking way too strong at the moment and way too confident as well, as Frozen helps himself to a freebie, taking banana control away and taking out Attacker in the process.
Does feel a bit like deja vu. Mouse Sports take banana control. TYLOOYU are battered where they stand, and Freeman at least has got on the board.
Once again, Mouse Sports, they want this banana control, and KARRİGAN, he's heard the footsteps, but the flash, that's good, and somebody will capitalize. Somebody actually going to find a quick double kill, as WOXİC, perhaps a little bit too keen to peek down banana and support his IGL, gets taken out, and now Frozen with a huge job to do, able to find the first, and the damage is significant onto Attacker, but there's so much support, and Zeta, he wants to get his name back on that board. 1 kill at the moment, and he is going to help himself to a second, taking down Frozen and forcing a full CT rotation as well. Mouse Sports fully gambling on this B bomb site, and with the bomb all the way back in spawn, TYLOOYU, they've just got to loop around, go back towards A. They've got Summer and Freeman set up for the execute, and the round is theirs.
It really should be theirs. This is their round to lose at this point. I can at least respect, though, that Mouse Sports, after the timeout, still tried their shenanigans. They still tried to mess with the minds of TYLOOYU by playing in banana. And you better believe, as this half continues forward, TYLOOYU are not going to be certain about anything. They're going to have to expend a lot of utility. They're going to have to go for these shoulder peaks, which could move into grenade stacks, could move into being orped from the likes of WOXİC, peeking down banana. So I like that KARRİGAN is this game of chess. It's his mental game where he's trying to position TYLOOYU where it gives Mouse Sports the best opportunities to exploit them. So watch for that going forward, even though, as you highlighted, it's a gamble stack on B. It's not going to work out for them, but at least they can save these guns.
Not that they really need to. The cash is so good on that CT side. They are going to be able to buy fully. Although I take that back immediately because I've just noticed it's 2 Kriegs.
Yeah.
And you would sell your mother for having 2 Kriegs on the CT side. It's absolutely incredible what this Krieg can do for a CT side. But as you said, KARRİGAN, he's happy to get aggressive and just put that doubt in TYLOOYU, which again, I think comes back to Summer being relatively new to this IGLing role. This is the first time he's really had to do it at a big event. And then KARRİGAN just constantly applying that pressure and making absolutely sure that he can't settle in, right? He can't start calling the calls. He knows because KARRİGAN's pushing down mid and they're trapping them in spawn, so he can't set himself into the game. And I think that is going to be really important moving forward as TYLOOYU do get their second round. And I expect we're going to see the same again from Mouse. What do you do then? Do you try and make Zeta learn Chinese, or do you go to a common middle ground and have sort of mediocre English? As Zeta taken out almost immediately, so we won't find out in this round. Rops gets the second as well onto Summer, and the aggression still coming through from Mouse Sports, not willing to let TYLOOYU breathe. Frozen gets a third, banana control is gone, and Freeman and Attacker again just left trying to save the situation.
Freeman and Attacker hot off the back of being successful after their tactical timeout, our backs to the wall and nowhere to run but forward, and that's into KARRÍGAN's arms. He used to be an AWPer in a bygone age, and he will not miss that chance. Attacker has been eradicated, and TYLOOYU only have Freeman to stand off. A measly 1 kill to his name. But at this moment, they're now hearing the footsteps. They're hearing the players drop, and Rops picking up the frag onto somebody lets them know exactly what's coming up, but Rops is going to get caught in transition from the Boiler playing Summer. They still haven't fully committed to the side, but now they're going to go for it. Into the arms of Chris J's SG, and he keeps landing headshots. Only Freeman stands between TYLOOYU And another round loss. It could be double digits for Mousesports. He has to retrieve the bomb, and in the process from KARRİGAN, who, by the way, 14-5 over 100 ADR, does land the leg shot onto somebody, but not the outright frag. And now with the flashbangs, Frozen has to fall back to the site, allowing the T's to push him. But be careful what you wish for, TYLOOYU. There is some help from KRISJ to be found lurking around. Coffins, Rops actually backs outside the smoke. And on the fadeaway, connects the headshot to somebody, which drops the bomb down in an awkward position. Rob's now going to be pushing through the Molotov and smoke, relocating to take a more forward angle. And now the situation is pretty much turned. It's TYLOOYU that have to now try and play a bit more defensively and wait for the oncoming CTs. WOXİC shows too much, and he's dealt with by Attacker. And now it's all on Rops. Last seen around Ruins. Can he pull off the 1v2?
Holding his angle, holding his nerve, making absolutely no noise towards Banana, but he can't find anything at all.
And when you consider that the bulk of Mousesports are over 10 frags, it doesn't bode well. However, somebody gonna create some light at the end of the tunnel with a headshot delivered with his AK-47.
Able to find something of an opening pick as Frozen again look to try and take that Banana control, but it doesn't quite pan out, and Mousesports on the back foot for the first time in a while. KARRİGAN switching back to the M4A1 as TYLOOYU, they're still holding on to this Banana control. 3 players looking to re-aggress as WOXİC, perhaps thinking about the peak, is just going to hold the angle, wait for somebody to walk into him, and all the timing on this. He spots out Attacker, can't quite find the shot, but on the second time of asking he will, and he's looking for more. WOXÍC, the Molotov will finally dissuade him. KARRİGAN going to have to stick around behind the sandbags, but TYLOOYU, they're done with the B-bomb site. They're going to try and head instead back towards A, and there's very little firepower here. Just Rops on the M4A4 to try and hold it down. Sets himself up in a very passive angle to allow KRISJ to rotate in, and TYLOOYU, it's not like them, but they're a little bit slow into this bomb site, allowing KARRİGAN to get one on the backstab, traded immediately by Summer. And 3-on-3 now. How do TYLOOYU get into any bomb site? Their information is limited. And with WOXÍC with the AWP towards B, Rops and KRISJ on the A bomb site, Mousesports, they could be perfectly set to stop this one.
It just seems like death by indecision from TYLOOYU so many times. They get into these good positions, as you highlight, and then they slow down to a stroll, to a crawl. And Mousesports just execute them on the approach time after time. Now the crossfire's been established and there's no hope. There's no way. TYLOOYU have been thwarted once again. After the roster changes, so you may as well come out here all guns blazing. Just go for broke, go swinging out, just like Freeman does. It's good to see him pick up the slack. He had such a poor start, but now he is starting to find his way. As our TYLOOYU, it's a 2-for-1 trade. KRISJ closes the door, quite literally, of Boiler in the face of Freeman, and able to start to traverse back towards the site, but he is isolated. He is behind enemy lines now, and nowhere to go but for the jugular, and he's not able to pounce in time. Summer will claim his number. Last round of the half, Mousesports gonna go for this, have an open and AK to play with.
You couldn't ask for a better retake squad than Frozen and WOXÍC as well, as bracket controls taken. And how do they look to play this retake? WOXÍC thinking about the apartments, going to switch out to the AK-47, but Zeta has got Short on lock, and WOXÍC might be able to keep him out a little while longer with the smokes as they start to use whatever utility they can scavenge to try and get back into this one. Zeta going to be smoked off, has to try and relocate, but over the top of all of them will be able to take out Frozen. WOXÍC with a 1v3 and AK-47 and nothing for TYLOOYU, but it's a question of can they hold their own on the CT side, as Mousesports looking to up the pace very early on, but somebody with the fadeaway will be able to open things up onto KRISJ, and it's actually just slowed them down and made them rethink this pincer. Bomb going to make its way back through the library and look to reapply the pressure onto Freeman and Attacker, but Attacker with a quick headshot, able to take down Rops, and this is good for TYLOOYU so far. Attacker with another, and Freeman finds one more. WOXÍC all on his own on the bomb site, absolutely trapped in, and that is more like it from TYLOOYU. The aim of the individuals just showing through, and it almost looks too easy. It looks like a completely different team as Freeman finishes things off, and it's near enough flawless for TYLOOYU.
Behind this B hit, they're also sending out Rops and KRISJ as the scouts through middle can try and look for some information, maybe cause an over-rotation, but KARRÍGAN dropping somebody. That is going to be a weapon trading hands, and it's a UMP, which can shred through armor. That is not insignificant. Plus, it forces Zeta to go round for the rotation. This effectively stacks it a 2-2 formation. Mousesports looking like maybe there's going to be another twist in the back of TYLOOYU. Maybe history will repeat itself. Remember, they won the first pistol, then instantly lost, and lost 8 rounds in a row.
Firepower starting to come through, though. Attacker with a quick double before he's traded out. The M4, A4 making it work. Finally, Frozen able to take him down, but with the majority of firepower over towards this A bomb site, it looked like TYLOOYU were going to have the hold, and indeed, Mousesports just looking to recover what they can as they loop around through A long, and limited map control to work with. Frozen and WOXİC thinking about where they want to go with this one. Freeman using one of his own smokes to give himself some room to breathe, as WOXÍC should be able to get this bomb down in the 3-on-2. And if there were two players you'd want, the firepower you want to try and pull off this clutch, it is WOXÍC, and it is Frozen up on top of the graveyard looking for the shot, but Summer rips his head clean off, and WOXÍC on the deagle needing a 1v3, finds the first, knows Freeman's position, but there's still the unknown factor. Zeta looking to make the rotation. WOXÍC onto the UMP, gets the second, and Zeta in the 1v1. WOXÍC needs the headshot, and he'll get it as well. WOXÍC with the 1v3. WOXÍC comes up huge with a 1v3, and now once again TYLOOYU on the back foot. Nice nades to take Chris J down to 20 HP, and the CZ of somebody desperate to capitalize, finding so much damage, but nothing he can do as the reload has to come in, and KARRİGAN capitalizes. 5-on-4 again for Mousesports, although Frozen and Chris J both very low on HP, as KARRİGAN looking to do it all alone. We'll find the second onto Summer, and he has been great at picking up these pistol frags so far. Like Zeta just spraying through like crazy. WOXÍC takes down Chris J in the chaos, but the frags are still going Mousesports' way. Very little health, but they look like they're set to find round number 13.
Yeah, because Attacker also very little health. No ordnance whatsoever to speak of. So, you know, if he has a HE or something, maybe he can just throw it in the perfect position. Maybe he can pull off the dozier. Not going to be happening here. I think he's going to be more than happy just to save one to his CZ, his Kevlar, his smoke. It gives him something at least to play with. Maybe he can try and have a look after the bomb detonation to see if he can find a stray weapon somewhere that's been blown into his path. But it's basically feeding off scraps. In terms of the round, it is done. Mousesports will have a 13-5 lead. It was close. It was chaotic. But again, they got the job done.
And again, TYLOOYU just not quite able to hit their shots. It felt like there was a couple of...
Nothing at all has been invested into this round. That it's more of a slaughter. KARRÍGAN with 2. Rops and Chris J picking up the pieces. And somebody is going to be rotating around. If he's not careful, Frozen will get him in the back with the MAC-10. And it's looking like that's exactly what's about to happen. Although, he's gone Speedway. So maybe he was the player that's going to get caught after all. Indeed, he shall. Nicely done by somebody. It is kind of sad when we're trying to hype up the fact that he's got a kill with a USP when they're still going to lose the round. They're 14-5 behind. It's been that kind of KARRÍGAN tagged down in Banana. He's going to be throwing a grenade of his own. Somebody stands tall, does deliver the fatal blow. And no one's there to counteract either or avenge KARRÍGAN. So it's a bit of a slip-up. Maybe that's one way back in for TYLOOYU if Mousesports start to get a bit complacent. Take them lightly.
You do worry for TYLOOYU if that's the only way they're getting back into this, is KARRÍGAN starts making mistakes and players start falling. But Frozen's going to wander his way in. Somebody with a nade out gets caught in no man's land, and that's an easy frag. That's going to loop into CT. Summer at least able to find one in response. Gets tagged by the AWP of WOXÍC, and he's got to try and stay alive, but nothing he can do. WOXÍC with the wall bang, and the rotation's looking to be cut out by Rops as he's going to go straight through this smoke and hope that he catches a timing. We saw this in the last game as well, but Hats couldn't quite find it. Frozen grabs the first on the Krieg, and at range, he's just looking to take all the advantages he can get over these M4s. Spots out the second player. Rops not quite able to find the backstab, so still a 2-on-2, but with WOXÍC on that AWP, trained in towards CT, and just the one smoke left for the CT side. How do they get into this one? WOXÍC with the first, and the last man alive, Attacker, trades 1-for-1, spots out Frozen, but can't quite find it. Mousesports will have map apart, and their T side is always going to be very impressive against TYLOOYU. As Attacker actually able to get aggressive and find the first onto Rops, but the T side have just swarmed all around them. They've gone straight past the CT defense and into this A bomb site. So Freeman with a huge job to do. Nothing he can find. Attacker desperate to get aggressive, but Chris J will help himself to a second. And the CT side, you saw what they were trying to get done with the aggression, but they had nobody there to cover their backs. So Mousesports get a free bomb site. And at 15-5, TYLOOYU, they've got to try and go for this one, but Frozen is already in position to cut it out. He'll get the spray down onto the first. Zeta at least able to trade on that scout, but still a 3 versus 2 for somebody in Zeta as the Krieg is recovered. So TYLOOYU, they're not out of this one yet, but they got to start winning some aim duels as KARRÍGAN takes down somebody, and Zeta's cleaned up.